Man, growing up in the yard isn't like genes aren't the only answer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, shit.
that's what I'm
Can you
saying.
set a timer?
Like the sperm, everything will be controlled. It'll just be the genes.
Bassi,
Oh, yeah.
could you get a timer or someone?
You set a timer.
So that's a little last fucking. That experiment is fucking. What was it?
Thing is, what result would that yield? What result would that yield?
What
result would that yield?
No, he's gonna have a fucking result, but man said 2 families and he's just
Yeah,
like,
save
the
it,
children
save
are
it.
just growing up the exact same day. On their 11th birthday, they have to do
I'm not
something.
actually gonna do it, but I just want to know.
Save it.
Save
Have you set a timer?
Yeah, 1 hour.
Oh yeah. All right, welcome back to Off Topic. Yeah, obviously you must have heard that debate, and that's a preview of what today's gonna be like. We have a very special guest on, Tosin. What are you saying, bro? Introduce yourself.
Man, I hate introducing myself, but yeah, I'm Tosin. I study psychology, and yeah,
Final year student, just like us,
final year.
and very artistic.
Thank you.
That's really
Probably-
the
Very
biggest thing.
much.
Probably the most
Yeah.
artistic person out of our group, most talented.
Thank you.
But yeah, why sociology?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Sorry, psychology.
Oi,
Fumbled it again. I fucked it again.
What a mess up. Okay.
I fucked it again. Yeah. Why psychology?
I don't know. I just started doing it in A level, and then I was pretty decent, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
But then why not art? As in-
Oh, I don't know. Like for universities, like well nowadays, universities they prefer like a modern approach to art, so like videography, that kind of stuff. But I I prefer to do traditional art. So I was like, yeah, stress, forget that.
But so, do you not have like any interest in digital art?
It's not
Stuff
that I don't
like
have
that?
interest. It's just like I just prefer traditional. However, I did try to start a digital piece like last week, and it's decent looking so far. So yeah.
Right. How long do you usually spend on like, an art piece?
Okay. The thing is, my problem is I take breaks from art for like 6 months at a time. But like I say, if I didn't take the breaks, I would probably say like
What was that one you were doing
Damn.
last year? You're doing it for time.
that was the Frank one.
Was the fact? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I spent like probably like 6 months on
well,
that piece.
we'll throw a picture of the
the-
one in.
Yeah.
Um,
You did a Dave one as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then you did a self portrait as well.
yeah, I have.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yourself.
crazy. Remember, I done self portrait of Tosin as well.
he has it here.
Yeah.
It's not a self portrait if you've done it off.
I mean,
camera.
sorry, apologies. I've done a portrait of Tosin as well, and I have to admit, it's really good.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it does really rival Tosin's one. I'm not gonna lie.
it does.
We'll throw a picture
It's
of that
just
one in
as
as
well,
well.
to be fair.
But,
Yeah, Nahid's. We'll like put a comparison of Nahid's and
yeah,
Tosin's, and then
I genuinely do think that mine might just be a bit better than yours.
The thing is, I also think that.
I think it captures you more.
Same.
Then you
like
capture
my one
yourself.
was just like a drawing. Yours was like
There's emotion
Art.
behind that. It's
Exactly.
actual art. There's a meaning behind it.
You still have a picture
Yeah.
of that?
I do. I think Tosin.
I've still got the drawing.
He's still got the drawing. To be fair.
the original piece by
the
me.
original piece. Yeah.
Damn,
Might be
son.
selling that as an NFT. More about that
Oof.
later.
yeah, definitely. We'll jump into NFTs, digital art more in general, just art in general. Whether art should be monetized. What do you think of monetization of art? How do you stimulate the creative mind in today's age? Interesting question. But yeah, obviously before you jump in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button if you do like the content. We have interesting guests coming on over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks. And yeah, hopefully you stay to the end. But yeah, coming to NFTs.
Okay, let's
It's
go.
a big topic.
Should
NFTs.
you speak a bit more about the Frank Ocean one? I think you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind.
I mean, I don't mind
Story.
talking about it.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
So- Is Frank Ocean one of your, obviously, I would assume one of your
Yeah,
favorite
like-
artists?
he's definitely one of my favorite artists. Yeah, and one day I was just scrolling on Twitter, and then I can't remember what shoot it was for, but like he did the shoot obviously. And I saw the picture. I said, "Damn, that picture's here." And the thing is, when I'm like choosing like a picture to draw, what I look for is like the clarity in the picture and like the detail. If the detail's not there, I'm not drawing it.
Have you ever tried to draw off like a low detailed, low res picture?
The thing is, I've wanted to start commissions like loads of times,
Yeah.
but then my issue is like people will come to me with low clarity pictures.
Oh. Okay.
And like when I draw, I want to like say if I want to draw for someone, I want it to be the best they can possibly be.
Yeah.
Like people see my work and think, oh, this is the standard.
Yeah.
So like yeah, if the picture's low quality, I'm not gonna give them that standard. Then to make someone pay for that, when I know it's not my best, I feel like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
prefer like just not to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But is it, like, do you like prefer abstract painting, as in you have to see a picture and then paint off it, or do you also do like just off your imagination?
The thing, yeah, like, so like I try sometimes to do like abstract stuff, but like it just doesn't hit the same for me. Like in my opinion, I prefer like traditional stuff, like portraiture, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's my favorite stuff to do.
Yeah, portrait. I'm actually the furthest away from being artistic ever. I just can't do art.
It's
Like, I don't know
crazy.
why.
Do you think you get everyone actually? Oh, Sandra.
No, but the
The thing is,
detail you go
everyone can do
into,
art, though. That's
the
the thing.
detail you go into is actually crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, it's
But the
small,
thing
like,
is, that's
it's
just
the small
practice, though.
things that I just wouldn't
But that's
see
just
otherwise.
practice.
That's practice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
have
so
you
when-
still got like a collection of your old art as well? Have you ever looked at the development of how you started with your portraitures and where it's come now?
I think I still have some at home, but like even from like last year, seeing a difference in my art is crazy, bro.
Wait, so when did you start like when did you realize that okay, I'm talented? Like,
The thing is, so I've always enjoyed like art since primary school. So ever since then, and like when I was drawing stuff in primary school, people would say, "Oh, that's actually decent." Teachers would say, "Oh, that's actually decent."
yeah,
So yeah, that kind of like motivated me to like carry on.
definitely
Yeah, now I'm here.
at uni.
I think
Thing.
motivation's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Just like I know there's been times where I've seen you, seem like you've been so demotivated.
Yeah.
So like, is that what actually drives you to finish stuff? Because I know sometimes because I've seen how long it takes, so I can only imagine like how draining it must feel sometimes. Does it feel draining? In fact, would you say it feels draining? Or?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah. The thing is, so like I love creating art, obviously, but like sometimes it's just so tedious,
Yeah.
and I have to do like the same thing kind of over and over again. It's kind of, but yeah, like in terms of like motivation, I just want to see the end product basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the big motivation for me. Also, this doesn't sound weird. However, I like posting my art online basically, and like
Yeah.
I like people saying, "Oh damn, that's good," or this or that. However, the flip side of that is I'm basically like basing my art off of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Public
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So would you say public opinion holds like a great importance? Like,
I mean, I think it depends on the person, but like for me, I wouldn't say it holds like a great importance. Like I'm gonna post my art online, like regardless.
Irrespective, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like for some people it possibly could though.
Have you ever had any sort of negative feedback or people try to critique your art?
Do you guys remember the Vienna portrait I saw?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was like one of the first portraits I tried to do, like where I was trying to like focus on like the realism, like hyperrealism. So that portrait, the detail was just like over the top.
Yeah.
And then one person like commented saying, like, "What the hell is this? Why is she looking so hairy for?" Oh, I know that's not meant to be Rihanna, that kind of stuff. I said, "Damn!" But yeah, that was it. You just read it and just like let it go.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
It does. Yeah,
That's
you don't let it
right.
affect you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just the negative. Like, there always be people that just hate.
Yeah.
You like just point out like minute details that might be off.
Despite the fact they probably can't even draw themselves.
Yeah. Facts. Right. No, but it's interesting. Like, so I wrote down this question when I was just drafting my notes for this episode. So I was like, because art is so subjective, like it's literally based on public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think a person, it purely stimulates, like public opinion incentivizes a person to create art? Do you think it narrows down to that, or do you think people actually like just dive into creativity and just do it for their own personal like satisfaction?
No, I definitely think there's people that like the majority of people do it for themselves. Like it's just a form of expressing yourself basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like most people just do it for themselves.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Did you ever see yourself at any point, or do you still see yourself at some point launching this as a career, like a long-term thing, just doing art? Was that on the cards? Is that
The thing's like it is, but like I feel like once you kind of make art like a full-time career,
yeah,
I feel like
lose the fun behind it. Yeah.
Why do you think so?
because before like so I create for myself right now basically.
Yeah.
But then once you start creating for other people, you're kind of stressing over, oh, does this look right? Does it feel right? Is it the right concept? that kind of thing. And once you start to focus on those kind of things, like eventually, I just feel like the love for for art is going to get drained.
That's interesting actually, because another interesting question is like, do you think monetization of art, so the idea that you charge someone or people pay you for your art, do you think that is a detriment to your creative ability, or do you think that incentivizes you to create more because you're getting paid for it?
I don't. The thing is, so like when like the money aspect, first of all, that's like that's so subjective.
Yeah.
Because like I think I could like charge like what £100 for a portrait, but then like I've seen other people say, oh damn, that's worth £1,000.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so what the hell does this mean for art? Because like it's just so subjective.
Yeah.
But like I don't think charging for art would inhibit in any way.
Inhibit like your creative space.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, what do you think of like, you know how you see like paintings in like auctions where it's just like a black like
piss me off.
yeah, like it's just a black it's a whatever black canvas,
yeah.
And then there's just like one white line and it sells for like
Or like a Jackson
5-6
Pollock,
million or some shit.
And the thing is about that, right? Like even though you look at that and think, wow, this is so simple, I could do it. You probably could.
Yeah.
However, this artist have probably gone through so much research, so many trials, all this, like to get the perfect piece. But still, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I think it's just the first one to get there kind of thing sometimes.
Do you think?
Yeah, no, sometimes.
I feel like it's different though, because people that usually buy these paintings and stuff, they're all like art connoisseurs and stuff. They're like really interested in the deeper meaning of art. It's like for an average person like you and me.
Bullshit. I think it's whoever's just got the most money and can say.
No, but it's the people that with the most money are probably art connoisseurs. Like they have interest.
I feel like
in
the whole idea of like art connoisseur is so fake, because it's literally, I feel like it's people who get into like that whole business. It's like they've got a shit ton of money and it's what stands out the most, and then they just create some BS excuse for it more time just to run with it.
Yeah, but
I feel like loads of art investors invest actually in the person.
Yeah,
especially the brand thing.
And
Yeah,
so
that's very
if
true.
the person's value increases, the art will naturally.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you think?
It depends.
Yeah.
I reckon, because like when it does come to different artists, like the value that artist is given is different per artist. So it's all about like where does art derive its value from? For some people, it's the story behind the artist.
Yeah.
For others, it's the techniques used. For others, it's the research behind. For others, it's the emotional aspect.
I feel like there's a huge, like a deep meaning to a lot of art pieces and stuff. That's why it garners so much value.
Yeah.
And also, if you just like make the art really exclusive, so like, oh, you can't even see this piece, the value of it will just naturally increase.
Yeah.
Leading on to maybe like the top of NFT.
It's interesting because like in today's age, obviously, with COVID like shutting down most auctions and stuff, you can't really go to an auction and see physical paintings or even go to a museum for that matter. So it's like, the concept of NFTs is like obviously taking over the news.
Should we explain what they are?
Yeah, so if you don't know what an NFT is, it's basically a non-fungible token. That's what it stands for. And yeah, it's basically like a digital asset. In its simplest definition, simplest meaning, it's a digital asset that holds value. And it's like a digital signature that you hold over that particular asset.
Yeah.
But it's just digital. At first, I'll tell you for a fact, it didn't make sense to me. Because how can you add value?
I still think it's so fake. It's so fugazi.
It's so fugazi because how can you add value to a GIF or like a picture or a tweet? It just doesn't make sense.
Because you know what it is? At its deepest, like, literally what it is just an autographed digital item. So it's like, it's the same as how like a normal autographed item would work. If it's been signed by someone who has influence, someone who has a bit of clout, or it's associated with them just a little bit, or it's current, it will just sell. That's where it derives value from. Even like yesterday, or when this episode comes out, this will be a while back. Elon Musk, he attached an NFT with
a tweet. No, he made an NFT. He made a song about NFTs.
Oh yeah, so NFTs they can hold
sold
any,
it as an NFT.
They can hold any form of digital item. So it can hold like music, pictures, videos, anything that can be digitally stored. It will hold that. And then it's like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like,
yeah.
Even this week we've been speaking about it, like jokingly, you could literally make anything and sell it as an NFT.
Yeah,
Anything.
Anything, and if someone's willing to buy it, they'll buy it. Calm, you've just made money off that.
It's like yesterday there was that entire Inception thing that we saw, the NFT Inception. There
Yeah,
was
the
like-
Elon Musk thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, as you said, he made a song about NFTs, he was selling that as an NFT. Then someone took a screenshot of the tweet and sold the tweet as an NFT.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
someone
yeah.
quoted that tweet, and someone sold that tweet as an NFT. And then it was just like a recurring theme. Like people were just selling quote tweets as an NFT, and people were paying like $8 for it, $88 for it, and then one guy paid $100,000 or $10,000,
Yeah.
10 grand for the tweet. And you just
Woo!
think, you're like,
Do we know if it's like a who gets there first thing, or if it's like a multiple?
So-
Because it's an auction and then there's a reserve price. If it hits a reserve price, it's sold.
it's sold, yeah.
But do you mean in terms of
So-
copyright kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so basically, here's the thing. So I didn't understand this before. I looked at this earlier today. So it's so whoever buys an NFT, whatever the digital asset is, they don't own the copyright to that, or they don't actually own the item. So it's still, so it doesn't matter. So it's like you can still have multiple versions of like a sporting event, for example. Say for example, there's a famous sporting event and it was captured by, I don't know, ESPN, on like a basketball moment or
Yeah.
something. ESPN, although they own that in real life as an NFT, technically they don't actually own the copyright to that. Anyone could still reuse it.
So is it technically because like the laws just haven't caught up yet?
Yeah. So it's literally this is
Yeah,
decentralized. It's completely
That's
just
so
nothing to do
crazy.
with
So
real life.
like, imagine that I create a piece of art.
Someone could resell
Yeah.
it as an NFT,
Just like that.
Yeah, but this is the fuck thing, because although they can sell the digital asset of it, you still own the original thing.
Ah.
So the benefit with NFTs is that the original purpose, or not original purpose, but one of the main ways they're used is to create like a digital signature that Adnan said. So say for example,
Yeah.
you created like an art piece, and you wanted to make sure that you're selling it to someone, it's the next big thing, and you want to make sure only that person has it. So you can create it as an NFT, put your digital signature on it. When you send it to that person, because it's been lodged onto the ledger, like the blockchain for Ethereum, all that technical side of shit, it will prove that you are the original one that made it, and they are the original, and they are the person who currently owns it.
Okay, cool.
So despite the fact that someone else could try and create an NFT, the only NFT with your name on it is the one that you sold to them.
Oh, okay.
So that is the benefit of it, and I think NFT crypto market is booming right now. I think
Yeah, NFTs are crazy. Like we
crazy,
were on the website yesterday. We found this website yesterday. It's called OpenSea. You should definitely check it out for your art.
Cool.
It's called OpenSea.io. And it's basically like this marketplace for just NFTs, and people are just buying and selling NFTs. And we were going through the process of like just trying to figure out whether we could sell like just a random picture on my gallery as an NFT. But obviously the gas fees and stuff are quite expensive. And just for
this
audience explanation, gas fees are basically like to create an NFT or to mine it and turn a picture into an NFT, you have to process it on a blockchain.
So Ethereum,
And that requires energy, which is, it's like fueling your car basically. It's like filling up your car with petrol and making it run. That's what a gas fee is. So you pay a gas fee and then it gets minted on the blockchain and it comes out as an NFT, and then you can auction it and sell it as a collection, which is fair enough. Like people are doing it, people are making a shit ton of money.
It's not just people. I think industry started to catch on. I think NBA has NBA Top Shots or something, so
Oh,
they
the
have
highlights,
digitalized
yeah.
versions of their collectible cards.
Even interestingly today, I saw Jake Paul. Like even YouTubers are jumping into NFTs and stuff. So Jake Paul, he announced today that he's releasing digital merch as NFTs.
Yeah.
So imagine, like initially you had YouTubers as merchandise. You had YouTuber merchandise that you'd buy, like T-shirts and just stuff like that. But now he's created digital merch that you buy as an NFT.
Yeah. It's the next step in it. There's so many areas that you can
Yeah.
utilize it.
It's just it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It leads on to this the topic that you want to talk about, GTA, and we'll get into it. But it's like the idea of like this virtual world. So Hamoud shared a TikTok with me. I think it was a few days ago, and that TikTok basically explained like, what's the future purpose of NFTs? So let's say I own an NFT today. What am I gonna do with that? Like, how is that gonna benefit me? I've paid one Ethereum for it, so $1,000 for an NFT. I now own it. So how's that gonna help me in the future? So let's say in the next 10 years or 5 years, you transition slowly to this virtual reality, this virtual world. So if I own an NFT in a virtual world, I own that asset. So it's like, let's say I hold a collection of 5 NFTs. In the virtual world, you can come to my museum, but I own it. So that's where the value derives.
Yeah, I think GTA will be the first game that I can think of
GTA.
to utilize.
It's already
wild.
started. It's already started. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like GTA. On GTA, there's like, you see these YouTubers in LA. So I've been watching a few YouTube videos of them playing on this, like, so I don't know if you've heard of this YouTuber. He's called Aiden Ross. He's a Twitch streamer, and he basically created this GTA server, for Hollywood celebrities, and celebrities in LA to jump on. And it's basically like they're living this virtual reality world on this GTA server. So they're all just driving around and like they're going on dates with other celebrities.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, it does sound
Trust
like
me,
that.
and it's all proximity chat as well. So let's say I'm in the world right now and I'm just talking by myself. The second I drive past you, I can hear what you're saying and then I can have a conversation with you. So it's literally like you're living your real life in LA, but it's just a virtual world. You're just playing a game. It's literally how Black Mirror was. It's fucking crazy. And
Yeah, it's
I feel like
crazy.
NFTs are like those digital assets that will hold value in this virtual world.
Yeah.
So
I
let's say
think-
you wanted to buy something, you just
Yeah.
have to buy the NFT off me.
I genuinely think if like GTA in the next one, because GTA is so expansive as it is, because they've got their own flipping stock market on the current games, etc.
Yeah.
So the next one, I can genuinely see them implementing some kind of So I think a lot of games already utilize so NFTs in game. So say for example DLC in game, when you jump on GTA and I don't know, you buy like a car, you don't own that car. Like Rockstar still owns that car. You're just using it temporarily while you're playing that game. So in the future, I reckon how there'll be an exchange where you can already right now in GTA you can create your own custom cars, bring them in, etc. I think at some point we'll see our own digital real life market like move on to the virtual platform where people are creating their own things and selling them. And I genuinely I wouldn't be surprised if the next GTA you had like real life manufacturers jump in, real life like companies created purely just to create stuff in the game.
You'd also see like all these advertising
yeah.
companies just like explosively expand on these digital platforms.
Yeah,
Like imagine you're just driving around like on this virtual world and suddenly you just see advertisements pop up of companies that are just trying to advertise. It's just a new way to target
facts.
consumers.
I think it's a really scary concept.
I
you
think
know.
it's
like
fucking
the whole
terrifying.
idea of like GTA, like even since the start, since it first created, the whole point of GTA has been it's an immersive like real life old game. Even when it was
Yeah,
like
I feel like
2D
GTA
thing.
was way ahead of its time.
GTA has always been ahead of its time.
Way
It's
ahead of
crazy.
its time.
Always been ahead of its time. And I never realized it until recently because it's literally when you look back at the original games, they were the first like 2D games where you literally like going around in a virtual world like driving just GTA. Then it's just developed into this whole entire world and now it's just becoming bigger and bigger. And naturally with the expansive technology, it's enabling to create a whole digital world.
It's just fucked. I think it's scary.
People are gonna get stuck in like it's already happening, especially in like some parts of the world. There's an aging population with younger people just not wanting to have kids because they're just getting stuck in these virtual worlds and just living out their entire lives in virtual worlds. They're like everyone's so disattached from reality more and more and more.
Hopefully, but do you think that's pandemic driven? It's because people are forced to stay at home right now. That's why
I think it's definitely
they're all just jumping on these
situation.
virtual worlds.
Exacerbate the situation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like
Definitely.
once restrictions are lifted, people will just start returning to normality. I feel like I don't know if the virtual world concept will die down, but I feel like the
It's
concept.
kind of grow and grow.
I don't think it would die down. I
Should've
think it
done
become
both,
like kind of like an elitist thing. To be fair,
Elitist.
kind of like
Yeah, I can
only
definitely
Yeah, I
see
can
that.
actually see that as
Defo
well.
can do it.
Defo see that. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that literally the next step is like some sort of elite world you can only access. Have you man seen
The next step is digitally downloading your mind.
Yeah, that there's people already working on that. I think it's Elon Musk working on that. But what's that TV show where Westworld? Westworld is it's like that. People just start living out their lives. I think that is
Westworld?
so. It's a world where there's a company which basically lets you live out like a digital life basically, and they have like cyborgs and androids as part of this world, and you can go just interact and create your own storyline. So you can have like your own Western storyline.
It's like they control the whole. It's like the world is on the table.
Yeah.
So it's like they control, but it's like if you're in that world, obviously this is way in the future. It's fiction. But like,
Yeah.
you still feel pain and stuff. But it's that idea. It's like once things transition to the virtual reality, everything's virtual. So you don't. So someone has to be controlling it.
Yeah.
That is
It's
crazy.
all a bit.
That is mad. It comes
is
back to
very
that that documentary, and obviously this shifts it to like advertisements. What was the documentary called? The Social Dilemma. That was it. The Social Dilemma. And remember in the Social Dilemma they had that scene, where it's that guy, and he's like, it's like a fictional image of him in your brain, and like, oh, not him in your brain, him in your phone, and like he just triggers like an advertisement or like a message and this and that. It's like him controlling the way you're attached to your social media or your phone and stuff. I feel like that's just similar to what Sif was saying about Westworld. Like, imagine you just have like, that's how the government or whoever is in charge of the virtual reality, that's how they do it.
To be fair, I think the world is like in some sort of pseudo way working that way, especially in the past year when we're speaking about like being stuck at home because of the pandemic. There's only, especially in terms of like the content that we consume on YouTube and stuff, there's literally a limited number of people who are able to go live lives freely. So we've like in the past year, I never really deeped it, like you've been restricted to the content that you've been seeing, especially like I always think about UFC in the past year, how big UFC's grown, and it's purely because for a period that was the only sport available. So it's like how much control do you have over what you get to see as well? It's an interesting idea.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back to the topic of NFTs and art and stuff, you should definitely consider like selling your art as an NFT. I feel like that'll be
you know, like
insane.
what I think is like a digital collectible series. Like have you ever drawn like small
I haven't, no.
I feel like even
But that would
portraits
make sense.
portraits would sell like as an NFT. I feel like portraits would sell
definitely.
as
The
an
only
NFT.
thing is because I remember because it takes time to create a portrait.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you invest all this time into it, and it's like, depends if you find it worthwhile or not.
Yeah, I feel like for the monetary gain.
Just on that point about how like sometimes you can find it like a bit arduous trying to finish off a hyper-realistic portrait. Have you ever considered doing more like abstract art or sort of like venturing out?
Sometimes I do consider it. However, like my issue is, like I feel like someone else can just do that. Like I don't want to be like someone else. I know like everyone can draw a portrait, but I feel like my portraits are kind of like unique to me. Like if you saw one of my portraits, you know it's mine. But however, that's the exact same thing with abstract art. It's just a matter of time to try basically.
Yeah. Have you tried? What's the like most abstract thing you've done?
It's like, to be fair, like even the most abstract thing I've done, it's been like within the confinement of a portraiture.
Yeah, fair.
It's
enough.
like kind of like fragmentation, trying out different colors, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fairs.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what else you have as well.
You start picking up paint or having
Painting.
paint more.
Yeah, but initially your portraits are more like pencil, right? Pencil sketches and stuff.
So the thing is, I went from probably 6 on, like I was in my like painting bag. That's like I was like focusing on oil painting during 6 on. Then, because oil paint's like expensive, bro. So I kind of like stopped doing that.
Nice.
1/6 once school finished. But then that's why I've been focusing on like graphite, pencils, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get back into painting, for sure.
Painting. Have you ever like obviously you said you don't really you didn't say you didn't enjoy digital art, but it's like you've never really explored it.
Yeah.
But do you think you would actually explore digital art since?
This guy's so crazy. I remember one time I gave him my iPad. He drew the craziest eye.
Wait.
Yeah, like I can just
It was
imagine like.
so stupid.
Oh, yeah,
It was,
I remember.
bro, I was washed.
Not near the
Like,
mic.
literally, the first day I bought an
Not
iPad
near the mic.
pencil,
Don't keep it
I was
from the mic.
washed.
Yeah.
I could even barely write my name. This guy was doing a whole eye.
Basically, so I started doing this.
Yeah, that's
You do this on
insane.
your phone
Exactly on my phone, yeah.
Yeah, hold
without
on.
a pencil.
Nah, I just, then, do you know those pens that like have this little black
Oh
pocket
yeah,
things
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end?
Say swear.
Yeah.
That is crazy detail. With one of those things.
Yeah.
Nah, Tosin, that's stupid.
It's crazy, right?
That is stupid. The detail is crazy.
And that was just on the. Wait, this was just on the iPad.
No, on my iPhone, yeah.
On your
On
phone
your
with
phone,
those
yeah,
black
this is
stylus
just
pens.
Yeah.
Nah, that is dumb,
Just on
Tosin.
his phone.
Nah,
That's
is
insane.
stupid.
So yeah, so I've started to try it out, but like, yeah.
I can't believe the detail you got into with that.
Wait, do you have a picture of the Frank Ocean one or the
Yeah.
Rihanna one? We can just show it right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll add in the Heeds and Tosin
Yeah.
just as
To be fair, we'll
comparison.
still put it in earlier as well, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
makes sense.
This one is insane. Yeah, look at that.
Can you see in the camera?
Crazy. Yeah, you can. That is insane.
So,
So that's alright. That's alright.
That's like, I can do that. I remember that period when you were doing portraits on Twitter last year.
Yeah.
It was at the start of quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the one of me was funny. That was funny.
On tour.
Yeah.
He's trying to buy that as an NFT. We'll list it.
List it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you think the next step is for you in your art? So like, you've been at university, it's coming to an end, you know, much more time in your hands.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
The thing, so like with me and my art, I've always like, I always do it because like, I just want to relax, kind of thing. Like I wouldn't, like I don't want to call it a hobby because I feel like it's more than just a hobby than something that people just do.
Yeah.
But like when I create art, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm in the mood. Like let me just relax. I slap on some music. Recently, I've been lighting a candle for whatever that's worth. And yeah, it's just like it's a chill moment. Like, yeah.
I rate it.
Like yeah.
It's better than what I do. I light a candle, just jump on the crew. Just driving around for like
I mean,
hours.
that's your form of expression, isn't it?
You just sit on TikTok for hours, just
Yeah.
scroll through like fucking the most random posts. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I don't know. I find
I would
yeah.
enjoy selling my art though.
You would.
Yeah, but it's like I don't think like I'd want to do commissions.
You wouldn't.
Nah, not really.
Why not?
Like I said before, it's just like people just expecting too much, and like I don't know,
Yeah.
sometimes I've seen some stories of people and commissions, and it's so wild. Like
Wait, so what exactly is like commissions in
it's
regards to?
basically someone's like comes up to you and says, "Oh,
Yeah.
I want this. Can you do this for me?"
Oh,
And
okay.
then, yeah, you just do it for them.
And then you okay.
I think that's a pretty good idea, you know.
But
to
really,
commissions.
no way you don't like that. I feel like wouldn't that be the
No,
I
but
wouldn't
it
say
makes
the
sense what you're
fastest,
saying,
but the
though, 'cause it's
easiest
like
way.
People expect like a certain standard, and that standard's always like slightly different. So if you're not delivered on that, you spend all this time making something, and sometimes the price you've charged may not even like it already may be a bit questionable. So then there's a person coming at you like, wow, why have you done this like that?
Yeah.
No, I also feel
Yeah.
like commission charges, wouldn't that like develop you as an artist? Because you would have, so let's say Nahid asked you for a painting, and you had to meet his type, like his the specific details that he wants. So you would focus on that. Then I would come to you off Nahid's recommendation and be like, oh, can you do this for me? Which would be completely different to what Nahid said. So wouldn't you like
But then,
have like
to
this
be fair,
diverse?
normally people like they come for like what you specialize in, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but have you like ever actually do they come for just a specialization?
Well,
do
in
they
my
come for
case, like people, they really like come for me like for my portraiture. So
Portraits,
like, oh,
yeah.
I saw this. Can you draw this person for me? That kind of thing.
yeah?
But yeah.
And you would say you're not too keen on that.
No, the thing is, I like. Sometimes I'll say yeah. Then I'll
Yeah.
ask for like a portrait. I mean, for a picture, and then they'll send the picture. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like, I'll draw the picture. And then like, I'm thinking to myself, this isn't gonna be like the quality I normally work at. So I'll ask for a different picture, and then the picture's quality is just as bad or even worse. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry, but I don't like waste your time or your money kind of thing.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I prefer not to do it. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Hey, you shouldn't doubt yourself though. I feel like you should just like let your skill talk, and then if people, yeah,
Taking the money there.
definitely. I don't want to say it that way. I want to say don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Obviously, take the money. If the money's there, just take it. Like, if people like the fact that people are coming to you and be like, "Bro, can you make this portrait for me?" It shows that you actually do have a skill in something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
Well, like obviously,
have a skill.
like, yeah.
No, it's crazy. I think it's like you
This
start with
podcast
someone.
turned into like we're just trying to grow Tosin to
Let's get it,
sell his
let's
art.
get it.
Keep going, keep going.
It's like it's a word of mouth thing, isn't it? As soon as you get like one done, someone else might see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you should just carry on doing whatever you want to do. I think that's especially that Rihanna one. Like when you explain that, it's like, yeah, it's just you doing your art, and that's what it makes it unique to you. And if people can't see that, then fuck them, because someone will.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I hope so.
But I think it's like, because it's like, what can you see yourself putting up as well? Because I'd love to see a massive thing from you. Maybe it's not something that you want to do, but like a canvas, I want to buy that from you one day, Tosin.
For real.
Yeah, definitely.
Canvas.
You should buy a canvas for off topic. Imagine Tosin just paints like imagine if you like you paint like no, it's not a is it a portrait? I don't know. You just paint like a painting of this set, and then we just have like a set Inception. We have a painting there. And it's just you're watching the set, and then you have a set there.
Inception.
It's just an Inception.
That would be crazy. Have you done photography before? Have you ever interested in photography or?
No, it doesn't. Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it though. That's the thing.
Would you say like photography is like a form of art, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. But coming back to the topic of obviously virtual reality and stuff, if you had to disconnect, like how would you disconnect from all of this, like virtual reality? So because obviously there's such a rapid shift to it, and like I don't know, I see like obviously TikTok, and I hate to say I see it on TikTok, and that's a form of social media, but I see so many people post like the other day I was seeing this guy who just lives in his van, and all he does is just drive around the States in his van and lives in his van. So he's so disconnected from like just all of this virtual space, like this digital space. So how would you say like, do you think it's possible for? No, obviously that guy, but it's like he's created his TikTok now, but for the past, that's why I said it's a negative because I've seen it on TikTok, which is a form of social media. But that's how he shared what he's been doing for the past year, which is being disconnected from social media.
Virtue signaling.
So, do you think that's possible, like for someone in our generation, just to like disconnect completely?
You could do it quite well. The other day you had it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't think completely though.
Yeah.
Disconnect completely. That's wild.
Yeah.
Like we need like I don't know what we need, but like our phones and stuff, and technology in general is just so important for everyday living right now.
I think it's like it's just a part of life nowadays. It's just how you stay connected.
I don't think people can afford to.
People just can't afford to.
So
Like especially I think we don't appreciate nowadays how much, because the one one argument I hate when people say like oh, why does that person have a phone that like they shouldn't be spending money on an expensive phone. Like spend money on food. Like you in today's world, you can't. Like you need a phone. Even as something as simple as like the whole since the COVID situation started, to book COVID tests, you need to use the internet, use your phone to receive your results and stuff. So I don't think people appreciate like how much you still need your phone nowadays.
You definitely do need it, but it's like I feel like we're saying we need it because we've experienced living with it.
Yeah.
Let's say for someone who's just never done it, like. Never owned a phone.
They'll get left behind because that's the main form of like consumer media. If you don't have a phone like this, you run the very good risk of like not like. If you, I think it's his thing. If you really want to be that disconnected from the world, fair enough. But it's like, what level of disconnection do you want from society and like what's going on in the world?
Like that guy could probably afford to disconnect. From
He probably could afford to disconnect. You
need to be wealthy to do that.
Like especially like if you're a young person nowadays, like. You're kind of expected.
Do you need to be wealthy?
Yeah,
I don't think you need to be wealthy.
Like Jared Leto, these man who go off in 3-month retreats without their phones.
A retreat is different. It's like I'm talking about. Just take the older generation for example, like our grandparents or like even our parents for that matter.
Yeah.
They didn't have social media growing up.
Yeah, but I don't think they cried.
You ask
they don't have the internet
today when they're studying, would you rather have to go to the library?
They go to get
every day
books out
to get out a book or
have the internet.
Like your hands in Google Scholar. They say Google Scholar. So it's just a matter of circumstances, really. And like in today's day and age, like literally, like your phone is like a second brain. You want to lose your mind, lose your phone.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Proper knowledge.
Yeah.
But I reckon like
lose your mind, lose your phone.
Instagram, Snapchat, not Twitter. That's crack. But what's the other ones? What are the other ones?
Yeah, fair enough. But because that's because like a lot of the content from those apps stems from Twitter.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's actually
the
interesting. Basti doesn't even listen to music. Do you know that? Yeah, Basti doesn't even listen to music. Or like he does when we do, but he doesn't personally just listen to music in his room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mad,
I don't think it's that strange.
I don't think it's that strange though. I know quite a few people that.
So what do you do when you're just sitting around?
Just chill out.
Yeah, fair enough. That's not that strange though.
It's like silence pleases him.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, sure.
I can definitely
And also,
understand that.
do you not feel like sometimes you're just like over consuming so much media?
Definitely.
Like one simple task, like walk into Tesco, which like
It's
20
so
minutes
long.
away is like, really hard without music. Like, and then I feel like
Is it hard without
like, those
music?
people have just been conditioned to that. But I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm better than you because I do it. Sometimes it's just like music's just not that good. Like,
Yeah, fair
listen
enough.
to it.
I don't know. I've recently started to like listen to. Like, the reason why I like it is because you can learn a lot nowadays. Because especially like with podcasts,
Yeah.
and like audiobooks and stuff. Like I think having your phone around is really useful. Because
It
just
can- It depends what you're using it for, though.
yeah.
I feel like it can be useful, but it can be misused like very badly.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. I think it just depends what use you're looking for in life. Because right now I'm looking like a lot of the time I'm trying to educate myself on new topics, etc. So I'm reading a book about it. I'm listening to a podcast about it. So that's the purpose. Is you literally have nothing to do, especially like when we think about like kids and stuff. A lot of the time when they're just sitting there mindlessly using their phone, it's because they've got nothing else to do. They just got time to mindlessly waste. And nowadays the nature of like relationships, etc. People just don't go out and play as often as they used to.
But do you think that's a good thing? Do you feel like the world is just becoming overly tech driven?
I think I definitely think it's bad.
It's
I
like
think
we're
it's
missing
bad,
out
yes.
on like so many things that the earth.
I think a lot of people are gonna
naturally
lack
could
social
provide.
skills, especially like the current generation. I think a lot of people definitely lack social skills because they're just so used to doing stuff from their phone. That's just what it is. But I don't necessarily think it's gonna like adversely affect them because again, the way the world's moving, everyone's like starting to work like non-contact fully anyway. So it's like a lot of people working from home now.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially education, like it's been proven education can be done from home. I think we'll slowly start to see that becoming the norm. So yeah, so it just depends like how you see it. So a lot of people will definitely miss out on
Education can be done from home, but the
Yeah.
quality of education drops. In my opinion.
I think that's because it's just a lack of funding. With enough funding, it's crazy.
I don't think education can be done at home at all.
You don't think so?
I think like complete opposite actually.
Because socially, I feel like that just stimulates your brain, right? Like
Yeah,
the ability to,
definitely, yeah.
let's say you had an opinion in school, and I contradict that, right? It's just stimulating my thought process
Yeah.
a lot more than just me sitting at home and reading something online.
No, I do definitely agree with that. But I think the way things are going, that's just the way it's just going to become.
Yeah, definitely. I feel
Yeah.
like that's becoming.
I don't
the new
agree,
norm.
but that's just becoming
Yeah.
the norm increasingly.
Yeah, Tosin, what do you think? Do you think that the world is becoming overly tech driven, or do you think this rapid expansion in tech is actually going to be useful eventually?
The thing is, so like, I don't think the world does need to like evolve technically. I think, but like, it's going to affect like it's going to affect us. Like guys, especially kids. Like you guys said, especially like the kids, because like. So we like socially when we're young we need to like be around people of our own ages.
Yeah.
So we can learn all these like social skills. That's like for like gender, sexuality, education, like those of stuff. So like if all these like people are missing out all these like key elements like of development from when they're young, honestly and truly they may grow up just be like fucked. Like,
It definitely. I feel like it inhibits your creative mind. Like even on the topic of art, you said you started art in primary school.
yeah,
How many kids are you seeing now in primary school that are so interested in art or like music and stuff?
that's crazy.
They're just all interested in making TikTok dances
Yeah.
and becoming famous on
Is that
TikTok.
not art? Dance.
Yeah,
It's more TikTok.
It's no, I think that's a good point. It's like the evolving form of art. 'Cause
Yeah.
At one point, all art would have been
It's
just
art though. Like if you think like
No,
It is
my
definitely an
little
art.
sister Loves TikTok, but like I'll give her one thing. Like she can edit a video, and it's actually pretty crazy to see them do it. But like even when we're talking about art and what forms it's taking today, that is a form of art.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think we had that old head approach. I reckon, like, when we were growing up, like, 21-year-olds were saying, kids dancing to fucking Soldier Boy. So, like, that, for us, that was dance, like, fucking,
That's a fucking song.
Yeah, it's interesting actually.
I think I always think about this nowadays. Like the opinion that I have is that do I have that because I'm slightly older and I'm slightly disconnected
Yeah.
with the ways like the world's moving, or is it like an actual
Probably, to be
genuine
fair.
concern?
Now, I feel like we're on that borderline, right? Where it's like we've grown up, so we understand the traditions,
Yeah.
but at the same time we're witnessing the new stuff that's coming in.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just trying to draw a balance
I
between.
always
like,
think about with
what do
music,
you want?
know,
Do you want
like,
the
music?
traditional stuff or
Yeah. Like music is probably the biggest indicator of that. Like if you can't,
yeah?
like if the next big thing sometimes if you can't understand it, it's probably because you're just not meant to. It's just not aimed at your generation. Like I always think about that new Central C song. I can't believe how big that is.
That bag that you want.
I'll lit that for you. Like, okay, my sister's gonna watch this. Like, I remember, like, I know, I reckon she slightly rates at bar, and I reckon a lot of people her age do as well because that is just the thing.
I haven't even heard the Central C song.
Nah, you don't want to.
So I haven't heard it.
You
Oh, yeah.
have. No, you have heard it.
This is the really cringe one.
It's,
Wait, is
that
that?
we're just old heads hating on like people? Just
Is it that one that-
music.
I don't know what you say, but I think it's a violation. That one.
Nah, but it's
Nah.
also.
Oh, you sound like a fan now.
whoa! I feel like I've loaded a couple of times in the auction. Adnan, you know.
Yeah. Wait, is it that one?
Nah,
It's
it's
not.
another one. Can't remember. Yeah, it's like sometimes like I have to say it was like slightly I thought.
Wait, Central C is the same guy that made the song Loading.
Yeah,
That's such a good song.
Yeah, that is, but like this other one's just like, what's he saying?
No, it's just this one particular.
That
song.
one-
Oh,
I'll
it's
take
the
your
lines.
lines.
Yeah, I'll probably hear it after.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's mad. We're actually getting old.
Yeah, we are getting old.
We are slightly getting old.
I
We're not
think-
even that old to be fair in the grand scheme of things, but I
Yeah.
feel like the cultural shift is crazy, or the cultural difference.
Wait, how long do we have left?
It's like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah. Okay, 20 minutes. Yeah. Think of this question. It's similar to disconnection, but if you had to conduct one experiment, a human experiment, what are you doing?
One human experiment.
As in, like, object from any morals.
Any more? Just you have to conduct one human experiment.
There doesn't have to be a reason. It could just be curiosity. Like,
Oh, okay. I framed it wrong the way I was saying it, but this is the way I wrote it down. It was what is one experiment you would conduct to better understand humanity?
oh,
To better understand humanity. I don't mind going first, to be fair, because this is what I wrote down. So I wouldn't. Okay, this is all subjective, by the way. So I'll kidnap some babies. No. It's all subjective. It's all subjective. It's all subjective.
Let's slow it down.
It's all subjective. It's all subjective.
Yo, let's clip that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I won't kidnap babies. I'll have my own babies, and then I'll pull them, and I'll raise them without teaching them any language,
Yeah.
and I'll expose them to art. I'll expose them to music, and I'll see how the kids, between themselves or the babies, as they develop, how they interpret the music and try and formulate their own language from the music to understand each other and make meaning out of what they're saying.
So they create their own language through music.
Yeah, or like through art or music. But it's like they don't know what the meaning is, so they don't know what the person is singing.
Yeah.
So they don't know English. They don't know what the person is singing about this, that. So they would interpret the music the way they interpret it based on what they're exposed to,
Nah, but I think
and see where that goes.
the whole thing with that is flawed because they're not getting like normal. They've not grown up with a normal human brain with any access to the real world. So it's like
That's why it's an experiment.
no, but like I just don't think it would work inherently because. So what conditions would you raise them in? Like what kind of environment?
I'll raise them without teaching them any language. I would give them artistic supplies. I would give them music, and then I would see how they develop their own form of language.
What do you think the benefit of that would be? What would be the purpose behind it?
I don't know. Don't you think like when you grow up, you're automatically in this like factory line. You just learn English, and that's your primary language, or whatever your primary language is. It could be Hindi, Gujarati, French, Italian, anything. But it's like you're just tuned into that language, so your thought process is only in that language.
I disagree. I think like the environment you're in actually changes your language a lot, not just verbally, but like your mannerisms. And
Yeah,
stuff.
mannerisms as well. Even the words you use, like the stuff you do, it's all based on your surroundings, right? So
Yeah.
don't you think just kids exposed to no language, you don't teach them any language, and they create meaning out of the different words. So for them, the word "the" could mean something else. For them, the word like air or food could mean something else. What if for them like the word food means breathe, or like the word breathe means food? So like I want to breathe now. That means I want to eat now. Like, I want food now. That basically.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
But then would they learn a language? Because language is more than what you just speak.
Yeah,
So would they not just end up doing non-verbal?
Yeah,
communication?
they're probably
Yeah.
they're probably behind gibberish and like they just talk with their hands and stuff.
No, I reckon they'll probably
As
suss it out. To be
babies do.
fair.
Yeah, like they just had that bit.
Yeah, and that's-
we will yet to see, you know.
Yeah. You get to see. But yeah, what do you think? What experiment would you conduct to better understand humanity?
I'm trying to think of like a big like problem that I can think of, like, in terms of like historically a big problem. Europeans, understanding Europeans. I don't know how I'd go about that.
Or like
European
you
colonialism.
Test if like the whole concept of racism, like just restart humanity or some shit, and just see if, like white people are more inherently violent than like, Hispanic people or some shit, or like.
Yeah, because this is one thing I'm quite interested in. Because even like through my degree,
interesting.
It's like historically, it's always been like Europeans trying to subjugate the other side of the world, and then trying to subjugate each other.
That's it. So you're basically saying like you'd go back in time, and then just put everyone up. Oh, is that, are you saying you take a group of like different?
I just want to understand if there's, I don't know, like.
Or like you could see if like test like this, if there's actually real evidence that like there's social mobility issues affecting.
Yeah, if it's like inherent or what, like I definitely want to find that out. Because like in terms of like empire wise, like historically, if you think about all the biggest empires, I don't know if it's by chance or what that like why is it that European colonialism was the biggest one? Was that by chance or was there some sort of inherent?
I think it was just resources, right?
The British shit that they had the biggest navy.
Yeah.
Like shit or like.
Just most dominant, most resources.
Just navy force.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's whoever just worked out like, oh, you just need the biggest navy? They're the ones that.
I think there's just like there's a thing in like European colonialism about curiosity in it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no moral end to that curiosity.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Yeah.
There's a land here. I know there's loads of people here. They could be native, it could be whatever. Still gonna go there because I want to go there.
Yeah.
Because I can go there, but they can't come here. But I'm good enough so that I can
to go there.
Yeah.
So I think so much of it is just down to technology, you know, like.
Yeah,
because
I do think there's cultural factors as well, because even in the global south, a lot of the culture is grounded in welcoming strangers and inviting people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Treating strangers with hospitality. Or
Yeah.
So who knows really?
My one was like see if art is genetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, just get like a bunch of babies that like, just come from like.
Are you gonna kidnap them?
To see if like a bunch of babies from like two parents which are artists, two babies from a baby from like two parents who are like STEM people, like doctors or whatever, and just like make them do art, make them draw shit, make them make music and stuff, and just see which one bangs, like which one's better. Just see if
Yeah.
But what?
Because I feel like I'm shit at art because like
It's a genetic thing.
It's genetic.
Yeah.
My mum drew a picture ever.
I think that's an interesting concept.
That actually is interesting.
I think to what end? Yeah, I think that'd be interesting to prove.
But
do
I
you
don't
think
art is just like biological though? It's definitely like
it's environmental
culture as well. Yeah.
If you control those two, so they have the exact same upbringing.
Yeah.
One's not exposed to more than the other.
Do you think it's the same with athleticism? Do you think that's
athleticism
I think that's,
definitely.
like,
Yeah, that's more confirmed.
genetic?
Because I think the only thing with like with art is like it's people's capacity for art. So is there like you'd have to look at it from a cognitive sense. Are there certain parts of your brain that require? Is there like a creativity part of your brain?
There's.
Yeah, so I could look at one of your faces, but like not really pick up the detail in a way that I could draw it, but like Tosin could.
Definitely.
If you know what I mean.
Definitely.
It's like the left and right hand side of your
But
brain.
do you think that was?
I think it was it left hand side or was it right hand side, which is more art
I
based.
don't know, it's right either way.
I have no clue. But do you think that's so? The picking up of feature stuff. Do you think that naturally came to you? Do you think it's something you developed over time,
It's
like with
definitely
practice?
both. I think it's like natural and also like with art, it's just like practicing, doing the things over and over again.
Over and over again.
And eventually, like pathways in your brain just like do that thing, and you just learn how to do it.
Damn.
I reckon that'd be an interesting experiment. To be fair, if take someone and then just force them to do art and see how good they like. Take a bunch of people, force them to do art, see how good they turn out. So like over, of course, like going beyond the ethical concerns. So just make them do art their entire life, and then whoever becomes the best.
Why would you do this, by the way?
No, it's just like it's like a
No, but who
hypothetical
would
thing,
determine who's the best? Because
that?
art is
Yeah, art's
subjective.
a subjective thing.
How do you know what's the
but
best?
It's like if I'm drawing a picture.
The most
I'm drawing
detailed
a
thing,
picture,
so it's like, 'cause you
you're
said it
gonna
can be
know which one's
practiced.
the better
Yeah.
picture, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see enough though. Some
No,
individuals might
most
be rough a
definitely.
lot.
Look, okay, look, you lot saw. Let me show you.
Bassie's picture. I think it's this camera.
I'm saying switch. This
He
is
switched
I say you flip the camera, Bassie.
this is the
Okay.
drawing.
It's the,
This is Sif.
that's no, that's me. The one in the red shorts is me.
Yeah. It's Sif on the left and then down on the right.
Wait.
That's pretty cold, you know.
Then compare that one to Tosin, so you're gonna kind of know which one's.
That's open as an NFT as well, by the way. Keep buying it.
I actually bought, like, I've minted it as well, so it's actually an NFT.
It's available.
He spent money on that.
The gas fee. Gas fee, yeah.
I think you know what would be like a really good experiment. So like alcohol these days in society is so normalized. Or if you have like different societies, you have like one group of babies here, or whatever, and it's like, but in one of them it's like alcohol is the one that's most pushed forward. The other one is like meth. The other one is.
Imagine crack being your alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh.
You only say that because it's crack, and crack is a bad name, isn't it? But it's like I don't know. I've never tried crack. I've never tried alcohol either. And so it's like you're not really.
That's actually so interesting.
You know what I
You
mean?
can do that with so many things, even
So
food
many
preferences, right? It's like you're just so tuned into. Actually, yeah, that's
No, crack.
that's actually it's interesting.
Because I was watching this. I was actually watching a Joe Rogan podcast, and where it's like a guy who's like who talks about how things like meth, like there was a politician who like he openly said that he takes heroin.
Oh, and he functions off of it.
He functions off heroin, and it's like no one can do anything because he's a good politician. So it's like it's kind of that argument that it's only it only has a bad name against it because of the stigma around it. But
To be fair,
if you can be productive in it, like
heroin's an interesting one because I was watching coincidentally I was watching another like podcast with me about last week, and they were saying heroin is like as soon as you take heroin, you will only crave it for about a week, but that week will be one of the worst weeks of your entire life. So it's like as soon as you get beyond that, like you're good for heroin, like you won't crave it. And it's like there's actually research into if you can like if you can take heroin sort of recreationally. There's even facilities in like a few Scandinavian countries.
That's
where
what
you can take it.
they do with the drugs, right? Like
Yeah.
they had the MK Ultra project
Yeah, MK
for
Ultra.
LSD.
Yeah.
That was for LSD, right?
I think it was LSD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind control. The CIA trying to do mind control.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you know more of it. If you want to explain it,
Oh,
go
I think
for
you
it.
know more about it. Did you study it?
MK Ultra.
Did you study this?
Reset your brain and cure depression. That's.
Oh, I thought you looked at this in more.
I
My
thought,
bad.
so
Apologies.
this is what I read about it. So MK Ultra was like this CIA undercover project, basically, in which they gave LSD to prisoners, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, just to see the effects of it. And it was crazy because they incentivized the prisoners by offering them heroin in exchange for them consuming LSD. So they're like, yeah, if you take this tab, then the prison will supply you with heroin to satisfy your need. So it was definitely very unethical, whatever. But
Borderline legal is covered up, wasn't it?
yeah, it was definitely
Yeah,
covered up.
standard
Like,
CIA.
people still call it, they just call it a myth, like it never happened.
Yeah.
It is what you want
Yeah.
to believe.
There's a lot of things you can look into in society.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's like a genuine, because I'm trying to think of
The
what
experiment.
ways would you try to further society. What would actually help? What kind of experiment would actually help further?
Sounding all very utopian.
Yeah, this is utopian. It's very eugenicish.
It's a utopian
Ethics
question,
to the
though.
side.
Yeah,
It's a utopian question. I feel like
everything just comes down to eugenics.
That is a Michelle suggestion, though. Utopia. It's just about like a bunch of crazy eugenicists just taking
Yeah.
it into their own hands to save the world
Yeah.
by sterilizing like half the population. But yeah,
Have you seen that? Wait, this is random, but like, have you seen that thing in South Park when like they're like 4 million years in the future, there's only one race.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
What if that was experiment? Like, we just keep making people have babies, so there's only one race.
I mean, we're living it right
Yeah,
now.
we're
Eventually,
living
it'll
it.
become like that.
it's the human race. Like that's what we're
Yeah.
living.
No,
We're
there's
creating the
only one
divide.
skin colour, sorry. There's only
Oh, one skin colour.
Like, so all the races just merge into one, and then like, there's only one type of.
How would like? I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of how.
That's how it should be now. Like we just create the divide based on skin color.
Well, what would society actually be like if the
Wait,
white people?
We.
We?
oh yeah, no we. But it's like yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be interesting to how society would. How did it go in the South Park episode?
Like they were just like.
That's not free.
This South Park episode. We'll add the South Park episode.
Like, they were all bold. They were all like mixed race. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen
only
this
thought
episode.
One language was just a bunch of gibberish. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like The Sims.
Society was amazing. It was just like it was futuristic. I think of people.
Yeah.
But it's like that could be a possible 4 million years into the future. Who knows how we're gonna mutate?
Yeah.
Gingers will probably be.
They'll be extinct by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think gingers are meant to go extinct by the turn of the century.
Wait, really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, something like that.
An actual fact or fallacy?
Wait.
No, I don't know. I actually
No.
don't know. Don't quote me on that. 'Cause I remember seeing that somewhere.
It's a mutation, isn't it?
What'd you say?
So kind
I didn't even know
No,
that.
but I think
you know?
it's like the
And
number of
gene pool is,
gingers, like
decreasing.
gene pool
Oh,
going down.
shit.
That is a fact. I don't know about the turn of the century. I remember hearing that somewhere, but don't quote me on that. But yeah.
I reckon
Damn.
in the future, we'll just be getting taller and taller. Like the short people just wouldn't.
I think the thing we're not accounting for is like robot like us merging with robots and stuff as well. How is that
Yeah,
gonna?
that's true.
How's that gonna affect everything?
That's actually gonna come way before mutation.
Yeah, I'll be way before mutation.
It's
We don't
already
even get a
happening,
chance to see
right?
mutations.
I feel like the shift to virtual reality isn't itself just a merge with robots, digital tech.
Nah, I think we're still meant to physically at some point. Not
Yeah,
meant
physical
to,
robots.
but at some point,
That'd be
transhumanism,
tough, man.
isn't it?
That's why I thought 10 years ago, I thought the Earth would be till right now. You
Well, what society would you
flying
live in?
cars and robots and stuff.
Would you
flying
rather
around.
be half robot, half person, or live in a virtual world?
That's an interesting question, you know.
What do you mean by half robot? Like, are you just
I don't know. You get to live out in this world, and you get to do a career which lets you be half robot. So
As a cyborg. So life
cyborg,
is a
yeah, life as a cyborg or life as a virtual. I don't know. You get to create whatever world you want to live
Definitely.
You're just a cyborg, but at the end of the day, you're like an accountant or whatever.
in. Yeah. Sure.
I think the robot one, definitely, because I get to experience two worlds.
Yeah.
The virtual reality, I'm just limited to one.
Thing is,
Or
like,
am I though?
I
Because
think
virtual
virtual
reality
reality,
is
You
expansive.
add, like the question of whether a robot can be represented in the eyes of the law, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
if you're not giving them personhood, they're a slave.
Yeah.
So you being half cyborg or being a cyborg, what does that
mean for you?
legal sense?
ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't even thought of it legally.
He's got a whole bunch of money.
Yes, and so
No, but if
focused
you're
on his
like a
degree.
cyborg with like guns and stuff in your arm, you're probably above the law, innit?
Yeah.
Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
No one's above the law, though.
The Terminator is a great example.
The Terminator.
I reckon you're.
Ain't got no court date.
The future is crazy.
Actually, it's interesting though, because I actually don't know what I would decide. Because virtual reality is endless.
You
You
can do
can
what
go
you want.
into any
But at the same, yeah.
virtual reality you want.
Isn't it? It's like
You
you
know,
actually
what
love
happens
it.
when you jump out of it and you're just yourself again? You're just
Yeah, you're yourself
Oh,
again, innit? Go jump back in.
No, you're just living in multiple worlds as different characters. Have you ever seen that movie Ready Player One?
Nah,
Yeah.
not. But is that what it's
I've seen
about?
that.
No, so Ready Player One is basically it's like it's futuristic and you're basically a game character, and you put on a VR headset and you're just living in this game based world and you just meet other characters. But in the game you could be a man, woman, anything. Like
Yeah,
you could be anyone you want, just any
Yeah.
gaming character.
yeah.
But you're just living as a gaming character.
Fair enough. I think it's like fuck the army in it, but like I like imagine being like a cyborg, like a half paramilitary, half cyborg paramilitary. I don't know. I'm getting a bit like.
Out of everything that he chose, violence. I need to join the
but
army.
like, that's like it's fucked in it because in today's world that's like the biggest application with technology, weapons and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
As sad as it is, it's like that's where all the most interesting tech goes to. Space and technology and space and warfare.
Yeah, space.
Um,
What would you choose? Virtual
I
reality
think
or
I'll choose VR.
VR? Yeah.
VR.
Virtual reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck this one, innit?
I'm done.
Tosin, Lord.
if you're a cyborg that can't die, you can make this world your virtual reality, which would be Or you could die.
Nah, but you can die in this world.
No, but I'm
No,
saying
as a
you're not
cyborg, you
though.
can't die.
Oh, so like, okay, yeah.
You're just immortal as a cyborg.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a crazy concept. the
That's
fact that
mad,
people
you know.
just trying to live forever.
You know, on that topic, I read this fact the other day on Google. So it blew my mind, but it's not even that deep, but it blew my mind. The number of people older than you never increases. Think about that.
Wait, what?
The number of people older than you never increases.
Yeah.
Decreases though.
Yeah, decreases because people die, but never increases.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Seems obvious, but it's weird.
Yeah. It's obvious. It's such an obvious
Yeah,
fact, but it's just mad weird
It's just weird if you think about it.
because it just blows your mind. The number of people older than you just never increases.
You're just like loophole.
Yeah. So it's really not any.
I always think about like, imagine like life if okay, so say for example, so with the way like colonialism, capitalism, everything went, we were all living in this sort of, I don't know, the society as it is now. If none of that happened, like how different life would be. Not primitive, but like you'd still have to hunt for your food, etc. I remember like I can't remember where I heard it or saw it. It's like supermarkets nowadays, everything, all the food that you have, it comes pre-packaged.
Yeah.
Like you don't like life is just so easy. You just go out and get whatever you want to get, as opposed to go out and look hunting for it,
I
etc.
know, but the thing is, that's different though, because you're technically still hunting for it by working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, but the hunt's
like,
different.
But
Yeah.
in a hunter-gatherer
Yeah.
society, like they're shown that like you would only need to work 1 or 2 hours a day,
Yeah,
and then you'll have your food, and then you can just chill for the rest. Of
Yeah.
You'll hunt, you're gathering, you're done for the day. So then humans are like, we went from working 1 to 2 hours a day to working 8 to like 16.
and it just gets longer and longer. Like it's so funny how I remember one of my teachers used to work back in the 60s and 70s. They thought by now everyone would be working like 3-day weeks.
You know, did you not see?
They're
Spain?
trialing it this week,
4-day
yeah.
work week in
Yeah.
Spain now.
Yeah,
4-day work week.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
trialing
Yeah.
a 4-day work week in Spain.
Even the 8 hours, that's just office hour.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
also
commute
accommodate
and
the
everything.
time you're working at home.
Yeah.
The extra hours.
Plus
they're
commute.
paying
I think commuting is especially especially like if you're working like a professional like job. Say for example, you're meant to be at work at 9. You're probably gonna end up waking up at like 6, 7. By the time you come home and you've showered, you relaxed, it's probably already like 7, 8.
Yeah.
So
But then now, like this society always feels like there's an opportunity cost of not working. Oh, I'm not grinding or whatever. I'm not working Sunday, and then you just feel bad about yourself.
yeah,
But yeah.
society's
Utopia,
changing,
man.
What's the alternative?
We go back to hunting-gatherer society. We just live out in the woods and shit.
Nah, it wouldn't work.
I don't want that though. I'm
I
good.
wouldn't do it.
Or hunter-gatherer society.
Yeah, fucking you work.
But earlier you were saying it would be so hard for you to disconnect.
Think I'll be a hunter and a gatherer.
Actually, that's got me thinking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mad, isn't it?
It is an interesting question.
Interesting question. Oh, are we done? Done with time?
It's been that for time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit. Oh.
You got a bit carried away there when we got off topic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tosin,
Thank you very
for
much
coming on.
having me.
But yeah, obviously, if you did make it to an end and you did hear us talk about interesting questions, you also have a thought of it, and whatever you answer, just leave it in the comments below. Make sure you like the video if you do. You obviously like the content. Subscribe if you're new. Post notifications on, as Basti said last time. And yeah, that's it. We will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.
Hold it.